morning, what a beautiful morning it is in the south of France. Again, on the trail of the lonesome TET. Can't remember where we are. Ah, yeah, Bastide. We were at Bastide. We come out of Bastide, just headed straight over to the TET trail and got straight on it. So we're somewhere in that location. Ooh, highway. That was a high rise onto the highway. Got to watch it as well, they travel quite quick, the locals, on all these roads. Why wouldn't you? They tend to nip about and they know the roads. But yeah, beautiful morning for it. 17 degrees, 10:30. This is in complete contrast to the stuff we've been doing in Spain, which is really bumpy, rocky, steep, loose. This is quite pleasant. There's a possibility of hitting some wet mud around here though. Be a real potential for some mud tomorrow because there is thunderstorms forecast. Weather warnings out for it. But whether French weather warnings or anything like English ones, where sometimes you think, well, they didn't really need to warn us about that one. Maybe in France they really mean it. They're not nearly as rutted as some of the British trails. Grass can be an issue though, because you don't get a lot of traction on it. Okay. This is more what we're used to. A lot less rutted though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Obviously far less used, I suppose.
Well, it's stony ground as well, though, isn't it, rather than...
Yeah, I guess. Doesn't help you if you're farming though, does it? Little central track here, representative of motorcycle use. In Britain, when you got deep ruts, I found it easy just to try and ride in the ruts, otherwise you get where the 4x4s have been. You've got like 2.5 foot deep ruts where the four wheels are, and you're trying to perch on the ledge in the middle, and if you need to put your foot down, it slips off the edge of the raised bit and you end up dropping your bike. Bit of mud there. Looks like I spoke too soon about them being far less rutted. Better. I think I should have just gone through the muddy puddle actually. I certainly did speak too soon. Now we're back to the bumpy, rocky bits. No chance of wet mud here. Yeah, that's interesting. There's literally two side by side here. Thank you. Pick your line very carefully here. Moving my front wheel about quite a lot. Try and get through. Oh yeah, watch that rock. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Spoke too soon, didn't I? So back to the more stuff we're used to, and then without rocky, steep ones, and then yeah, there you go. It's actually a bit trickier, isn't it, with the big rocks, because they move your front wheel out if you think you go in here,
Yeah.
and it shifts you sideways, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have to have a drink, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, mud could be an issue for us though, couldn't it?
Pardon?
See, mud could be an issue. We get to a bowl,
Well,
these things are quite difficult to get through mud, aren't they?
yeah.
I wouldn't take this through stuff I've been taking the 450 through.
Fucking hell, no way.
Not with the knobbly tyres, and you might be fair better, but
Not with all
shouldn't have said that, because I've said about the rocks, and we've got the rocks, and now I've said mud, we might get mud.
Oh, I don't.
Yep. Mosquito in my helmet. Out. Got him. These are really pleasant, actually. Really pleasant. Dare I say, in fact, I better stop saying anything really. But yeah, nice. It's a beautiful countryside you would never have seen before in France. Beautiful country. These sorts of man-maintained tracks are often a little trickier. Tends to swirl about underneath you a lot more. Yeah, making a bit of dust for me. It's because he knows I've got a spare air filter with me, I think. Just making sure I get to use it. Well, he can change it then, can't he? No, I don't like people touching my motorcycles. Only for servicing, to keep a service history. Anything else, or I do all my own maintenance. As you may well be aware, I changed the fork cartridges in this from the standard non-adjustable to, of course, the Adriani Misano ones. Yes, that's right. I'm very pleased I am with them. Normally I'd go straight through the middle of that puddle, but I really ought to try and keep the bike a little bit cleaner, as we're not at home and I ain't got a jet wash on tap. Quite literally on tap. Back to the tarmac, yeah. Sit down and give my legs a rest. We normally only go, I mean, it's very rare that we do 2 days on the trot unless we go away for a week, in which case we do. But on this, it's like we go in the van and we have a trailer. Andy has a trailer, I have a van, so you're not actually on the bike. But obviously on this trip we're on the bike 24 hours a day. It's there, isn't it? That V there, just in that avenue of trees. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, okay. What I mean is you're going to rest, so you get like a nice van to sleep in and drive home in that. But these, obviously, we've got to ride them back, pick up the ferry as well. So you're kind of on them 24/7. So it does take a lot more effort. And furthermore, here the trails are much longer. Yesterday we did an 11.5 kilometre long trail, very technical trail all the way as well. This one's a less maintained road. They've marked it up there though to repair that edge. All the bricks. Swing up here. Don't normally go down gullies. We're trying to avoid going up them. as he gets stuck in a gully. That kicked the rear wheel sideways. Try and hit just there, yep. Wimped out, caused himself an issue there. Oh, come on, get your speed back up. As I was saying earlier, yeah, we headed out of Bastide, and the TET route was was to the west of us, so we went over to the west. About 15 minutes away from it we were, got on it, turned right, so we're heading generally north on the section. This is about the last day of riding the off-road trails because, as I said earlier, we've got weather warnings, severe weather warnings for thunderstorms. On these bikes, we don't want to be getting stuck in the mud. You get your 450 stuck in the mud, you pick the front end out, you pick the back end out, and you crack on again. But with these, it's a bit more cumbersome because you can't just pick them out. When there's 3, 4 of you, yes. When there's only 2 of you, it makes it a lot more trickier. Plus, we don't want to be riding for 2 days back up to Calais in the rain. I think Paris is about 6.5 hours away from us, but that is obviously up the péage, the toll roads, at 130 kilometres an hour, 80 miles an hour approximately, 10 mile an hour faster than in Britain, so they tend to flow. You do get some congestion around major cities We had some on the way up at Paris, and you can get through. It does slow you down still though, but you can get through with ease. But I've got full luggage on this. It's got a top box and the BMW side panniers and another wet pack slung across the two side panniers and the back seat. When you haven't got a pillion on, it makes a very good place to store stuff, and it's where the bike expects more weight to be if there was a pillion on, so it doesn't affect the balance too much. The only thing with having the weight on is when you're doing the trails, you get like a pendulum motion, you know, the bike's rocking side to side. It does take more effort to control it with your knees. Manageable though if you just take it steady. The Cyberman is plugging himself in again. Here's some of the signs. Vaour, Route de Cosse, Ferme Equestre. So that's the name of his farm, I should think. Well, don't ferme mean closed? Making myself look stupid. Well, even stupider. Over, I saw a car. I didn't know whether he might have not been expecting me to turn across in there. Like I say, they do travel at pace when they can. Look at that. It's the beast of Exmoor. It really does exist. Try not to run this cat over. Okay, we're past him. There's a gate there, but unlike Britain, if there's no reason to have it closed, he leaves it open. I must sound very cynical. A lot of the time on the trail I often think that the gates are just put there to give us something to do while we're out on the trails. Then as a result, the gates kind of get overused, and a lot of them they're all like bent, sunk down, don't close properly. Instead of using the proper catches, they end up with a bit of highway. They end up with a bit of rope round them, a bit of baler twine round them, because they're sunk so much. But then if they're only closed when needed to, put a sign on when they're needed to, they can leave them open and they won't get so damaged. Farmer might save himself some money. The farmers love to save themselves some money. Plus it must be, we normally ride as a pair, but in certain circumstances, I suppose if you're riding alone on some of the trails, getting the gate open's a problem, so you might end up having to push it open with your front bike tyre, and I mean that obviously puts undue load on it. It's not really designed to have that sort of load on it. So that one is Route de Fondouno. Check we're still recording actually. I'm sure we are. We are. Tribom! You never know, sometimes when I'm out on the trail it's stop recording. It does these things when it sees fit. Like all electronics, isn't it? They're a bit temperamental. The sat-nav went wrong yesterday, right in the middle of, they always do it when you need them the most, so right in the middle of two loos within major interchanges on all of the big main arterial routes. And it decided that the screen was just white. I could still hear the voice commands, but the screen was white. And it's that complicated road network we were in, and then you can't pull over anywhere because there's literally nowhere to pull over. So we ended up finding somewhere, sorted it out, got it working again, but then it was in energy saving mode, so it kept switching the screen off. you know, it was in the settings I told it I wanted the screen on if it's on charge and only to go off when it's not on charge, but it had other plans. See to sorted it now. Find out later today, I suppose. It'll catch us up, I hope. This looks like it might be an old filling station or garage. Ah. Here he comes. He's found us now. Pullman batteries, weren't they? Name rings a bell. I'm sure it's Pullman car batteries. Oh, batterie de chevaux. Or is that horse? French is brilliant, isn't it? It's automobile, batterie d'automobile, I suppose. Turn left here.